Hi everyone, I'm Molly.
And I'm Erica.
And we are so happy to be back with you for Thrive Forward Tuesdays. This really is one of our favorite times of the week.
Yeah, it helps me really actually set up my week.
Yeah. And it's such a perfect segue into what we're talking about today, which is routines. Yay!
Yeah.
And when I say routines, I don't really mean planning. Planning is kind of a different topic, which maybe we'll talk about another day. But what I'm really talking about is the routine in the morning that's going to help you to have a great day. And what that actually means is dealing with the conversations that you wake up with each morning.
Yeah. So we're going to get into today why mornings. Why is it important to do this in the morning?
Yep.
And getting out of your head around it.
Yes.
And then as well, contingency planning.
Yes. Yeah. Who's ready?
Okay, so when you wake up in the morning, so why mornings?
Yeah.
When you wake up in the morning, you usually can go one or two ways. Either you wake up really chippery and it's like, today's going to be great, and you just wake up singing. And that's fantastic.
Call it a Cinderella morning.
Yeah, I acknowledge you for that. That's amazing. Or it can go sour, and there's many reasons why it could be. A lot happens before you even get out of bed. If you live in Toronto, there's construction everywhere.
Yep.
So there could be construction that started you earlier, got you up earlier than you wanted to. Your husband can be crabby because the house isn't clean. Just hypothetical situation here.
Not at all something that's happening.
You could have bloating and cramping from your food last night.
Yep.
You
wake up feeling physically crappy.
Yeah, or you're already constipated and whatever, or you just didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Or you got up through the night and you didn't get good sleep.
Someone's dog was barking, your child was crying.
Yeah, or
restless
you
night.
reached for your phone and then you got all these horrible messages that you didn't want to receive.
Yep.
Yeah, and so what can happen is that can really impact your day. So you already kind of start out sour.
Yeah.
And definitely you can generate yourself in a better way, but it kind of gets you off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
For me, when I reach for my phone and I find these messages, I stay in bed longer than I want to or than I should because
you're already
I'm
avoiding
just
your day. You're
I
already
leave this lovely sacred space of mine. Anyways, and then that kind of happens maybe you don't actually prepare your breakfast, your smoothie. Yeah. You go to the office, you're upset, and then it just kind of spirals from there.
Exactly.
And then you go home and you kind of glug, glug, glug on the wine, and then your sleep is bad, and it can
and then you start all over again.
Yeah, a bad day can really turn into a bad week.
Yeah.
Is kind of what we're saying. So setting the tone in the morning is really important.
Yeah, exactly. And why we want to talk about that is because if you think about everything that Erica just said, it's all circumstantial. You when you're waiting, when you're hoping for a good morning, you actually are taken out of the driver's seat for how your day's going to go. And it's so true. It really can spiral. And so the conversation we're having today is really about what you can do in the mornings to put you back in the driver's seat, no matter what it is you wake up with, or who was barking all night, or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay. So when we wake up in the morning, like Erica said, there's all this stuff that may or may not have happened. So we wake up with a conversation. I'm tired. I didn't sleep well. I don't want to get out of bed. I
don't want to. I just don't.
Yeah, I need to sleep longer. It's raining outside. I don't want to go outside. Or it's really nice outside. I don't want to go to work. Or whatever it is. The weather's a really good one. So we all wake up with these conversations in the morning. So what do you actually do about those, though?
And so what I want to say here is that we entertain these thoughts as if they are our reality. And the biggest, clearest distinction is that most of the time these don't actually represent our daily goals and thoughts.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying here is say thank you for sharing.
Yep.
But I'm going to get out of bed anyways.
Yeah, exactly. And so when we're talking about your morning routine, what we're really looking at here is there's got to be something that's happening in your morning that's stopping the conversation going on in your brain. And what that looks like is getting out of your head and talking to someone else. So one of the structures, actually, before I say that, why that's important is what we said in the morning, in the last segment, is how your morning goes is going to influence not just the rest of your day in terms of mentally, but it's also going to determine how the rest of your day is going to go in terms of the food decisions that you're making.
Oh, totally.
Always bringing it back to health and wellness, right? Yeah. If you have a rushed morning, or if you have a stressed morning, or if you had a crappy sleep, if you stay in that space, how likely is it that you're going to make really good food decisions that day?
Yeah.
Not likely.
Yeah.
You're going to be eating your muffins and cookies and self-medicating all
Stress
day.
eating.
Yeah.
Drinking.
Stress drinking, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Won't be thriving much there.
Yeah, lots of depriving, not so much on the thriving.
Okay.
So one of the things that I do each morning, I have a call every morning at 7 o'clock. Shout out to Kayla, where I take a couple minutes and just like word vomit up all of the crap that I wake up with. And sometimes there's not that much, but sometimes there's a lot of I don't want to do anything today.
Yeah.
So I get that all out of the space and to another person, not just talking to myself about it. And so after that, once that's out, it's like I can actually then look at my day and say, okay, these are all the things that I'm going to accomplish today. I tell that to her as well. And then I say, who am I going to be about my day? Today I'm bringing a lot of fun to my life, or today I'm going to be really creative, or like I have clients that day, so today I'm going to be really like powerful and present for them. And so then, like what Erica said, I get in those conversations to set my day up that in a way that's consistent to my goals and who I want to be in life versus how I woke up that morning.
Yeah, exactly. And like all those exterior things impacting your day, you're letting it, you're like receiving it all.
Yeah.
You're not the creator of it all.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like it's like,
yeah.
You know.
And for some people, it may not be a call. You like Erica knows a great journaler.
Yeah.
I would never journal.
Yeah, and I like to journal because I really like to, I love really coughing it up and being honest with myself. But I know if I'm not in a space to hear it, I really gotta reach out and get the coaching or talk to someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But usually I'm really honest with myself, and most of the times I get to like a spot where I'm like, okay, now I need external help. Like I got to A, B, and C.
Yeah.
Where's D? Where am I missing?
Yeah.
You know?
So that's what you really want to do is like, in order to get out of your head, you talk to someone else or you get it on paper. I know for myself, I don't particularly care to journal. And I also know that I'm not like Erica, where it's just a default setting for me to say, oh, I need to talk to someone. So I have people coming to me whether I like it or not, because I know that otherwise I won't actually do that in the mornings. So you want to be really honest with yourself when you're putting in your get out of your head structure for the mornings.
Yeah. What do you best respond to, for sure?
Really calling on yourself.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about contingency planning. But when we're talking about when things go wrong, so earlier we talked about when it goes one of two ways. So when it goes south, when your day goes south and you're rushing and hurrying, it's like a roller coaster day. And so when this happens, everything is illuminated that goes wrong. So like that's out of your control. Like if you are rushing, and then the TTC is like delayed, you're like, oh my God, this is such shit. Like TTC, why can you never work? Are you always delayed? You know?
Yeah.
And then like your boss and like it just keeps going.
These are the days when like someone looks at you and you're like, they just like, all they do is say hey in a weird tone and you're like reacting because it's like, I can't believe that girl's such a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And so when Molly is just going to discuss the contingency planning. So the opposite of that is that if you do give yourself time on the TTC, like I always give myself an hour of travel.
Yeah.
And then it's like if it's delayed, you're like, oh, I get more time with my book.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, yay, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a different perspective.
There's a totally different tone to your morning when you give yourself some space. And so that's what we're talking about with contingency planning. So like for me, and I think you do this sometimes, her schedule's a bit more volatile than mine. But so I get up at 7 every day and I usually don't start actually working until about 9. And that seems like for a lot of people when they hear that, it's like, wow, that's like I don't have time to give myself 2 hours in the morning. But like what you just said, if you think about all of the time that you waste, sleeping it, like snoozing your alarm, and then, rushing on the TTC, and then just reacting to things throughout the day, like you're not effective.
Or you're texting people sorry, like
you're dealing with all of the crap that comes along with being late or being behind or missing a deadline or whatever. You're going to spend way more time doing that versus if you have like really managing your headspace first thing in the morning and they're just like on top of things or even ahead of schedule. It's totally different. And so, like I said, I give myself space in the morning to, if something comes up, maybe we're doing an event that day and I realize, oh my God, I didn't print something. I've got space to go and deal with that. Or if, my roommate used all my coffee or something, I can go out and get one and not freak out about being out in the world in an uncaffeinated state or whatever that is.
Yeah, totally.
So once you've gotten out of your head, you want to give yourself a little bit of space in the morning for you to really set yourself up to have your breakfast, plan your meals.
Yeah, and have that me time.
Mm-hmm.
Just you and your thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. So, and again, when this comes back to health and wellness, of course, maybe in an ideal world, you're prepping your lunch the night before, but this gives you the space to I have time to go pick something up at Freshie, or I have time to put a salad together in the morning, or make your breakfast. It really just sets it sets you up in the wellness perspective too, because you have the time and space to do what you need to do to reach your health goals.
Yeah. My friend Steady, he actually when he would get home from work, he wouldn't sit down yet. He would go and do everything he needed to do for his morning routine to be successful, and then he would sit down. Because once you sit down,
you're kind of screwed.
Are you really getting back up
No.
after work?
No, you're not.
And I always admired that. It really set up his day.
Yeah. And I just know this is something that it's gonna be an ongoing thing that you're dealing with. I don't always, sometimes I do go back to sleep after my 7 o'clock call. But the other thing is don't beat yourself up about that either. Give yourself the space to really ingrain this habit.
Well, you said it took about 3 to 4 months. You
Yep.
would show up for 3 out of the 5 or something?
Yeah, when I first started these calls, when I put that accountability in, it was probably 2 days out of the week, I would sleep through it, or I would, my conversation in the morning was so strong, I don't want to, I would even see the phone ringing and not answer it, and just ignore it, put it on airplane mode, and go back to sleep. So it really took something.
Airplane mode, that's
oh yeah, it was aggressive.
Sure.
It was aggressive.
That's a really, I don't want to.
Yeah, it's a really intense conversation. But now, now that I'm on the other side of it, it's so worth it.
Yeah, and I think that's also we were talking about earlier with our health things, getting into that routine is something, but then when you go out of it,
you see it
and you feel that impact, then your will to continue to do it is much stronger, because you're just
it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah, you're I felt so much better the other way. I'm so sick of the other way of being.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we wanted to talk about morning routines. It's just really the best way to have an effective day is to start your day out well.
Okay, so we wanted to add in, we do this with our clients, we thought we would do it with you guys. We want to add in a little homework.
Yes.
And this is
assignments.
Fun. Yeah, it's just fun. We're nerdy like that.
Yeah.
I feel like Monica on Friends, we'll do essay questions.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what we're going to do, I also completing my day with journaling. So really acknowledging yourself for what you accomplished during the day will actually perpetuate your creation and what you're living into in the morning. So write down 3 things that you acknowledge yourself for during the day.
And can I add something?
Yes, of course.
If you're somebody who's got a really hard time with patting yourself on the back, you should make it 5.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Why not just do 5? Let's just do 5.
Yeah, just do 5.
Yeah. And then in the morning, you can write also, so read what you wrote last night.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out what you want to create for the day. Like Molly talked about, I want to be present. I want to be powerful for my day.
Mm-hmm.
And then share it with someone and each other, and maybe you'll become each other's morning call.
Yeah, and that's what I would say is once you definitely want to share it with someone. And I know if I was watching this video and I got this assignment, I'd be like, oh, it's a good idea, and then I'd never do it.
Got it.
So the sharing part is really, really important.
Mm-hmm.
Share what you're supposed to be doing in the mornings with someone who lives with you, or someone who you see in the morning, or someone who you can hop on a phone call with early in the morning, so that you can actually have this become reality.
Yeah, it's life-changing.
Yeah, it really is. Yay for morning routines.
Yeah.
I wish we had something to cheers. So many of our things involve beverages, but we should find a beverage for
It's
Thrive
just
Forward.
a Thrive. Thrive.
Thrive Forward, everyone. That's so real.